As predicted, we are seeing Bitcoin dump with the Pluto Retrograde to Capricorn. All right, so I'll play that video I made about a month ago predicting that. But right here where this blue line is when Pluto just retrograded to back into Capricorn. And we are seeing Bitcoin dump there so far, all right? We went down to, wow, below 25,000 now. All right, so we're going lower. We're also seeing a significant dump. This is the basically the altcoins, all of the coins other than Bitcoin. We're seeing a major dump here, even more so than Bitcoin. So we are dumping down to, 498 here. We are still above the all-time lows, so altcoins still could rebound from here. Yet it is interesting with the Bitcoin dominance, quite high right now, to see if it's going to continue going up or if it's going to get rejected and come back down. All right. But let me show you the video from 1 month ago talking about this prediction that we're going to see a dump around June 11th. We're going to transit back into the sign that it was in before, and that happens on June 11th, okay? So that's Pluto right here, this planet, and it just went from Aquarius back into Capricorn on June 11th. Now, the last time Pluto behaved this way, where it transited through into a new sign 3 times, which is going to happen, it already happened once. It's going to happen again in January of next year, and then again in November. The last time this happened 3 times was 1957. So I looked at the charts in 1957. I looked at what happens when Pluto retrogrades back over to 0 degrees in the new sign. And what I saw back then, January 1957, was we saw a major crash here. Not like super major, but we saw a big dump. And this dump was about, let's see how far it went. Looks like it was only a 10%. I'm not sure if that's correct scale there, but it says a 10% dump. But we saw that dump there. Now, are we going to see a dump that goes that far? Time will tell, because let's look at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is holding up strong. But as you guys, let me take off some of these things here. I was thinking we might start dumping, but so far we're holding up strong on the Dow Jones. Now, how long is this going to last? We just saw the Pluto retrograde Capricorn. It's been holding up strong. We are seeing a dump very recently, ever since the Fed paused. Are we going to see a dump, or are we going to keep holding up strong and Bitcoin's going to dump? Because you know, Bitcoin kind of sniffs out things really early on, so Bitcoin's already dumping now. Is that foreseeing a little bit into the future for the Dow Jones? Are we going to see a dump in the Dow Jones? That is a possibility. That is a possibility. If we do dump, let's see. Let's look at the 1 year here. You can see the 200 moving average here. So maybe we could come down to the 200 MA moving average. Let's look at the 50. Okay, it's holding above the 50, this blue line right here. So the Dow Jones is holding up quite strong. So let's go back to the video. It'd be interesting to see what's going to happen here. Are we going to see something like this? And then what happened, so then we saw a major move up and then a massive dump. So we could call this the phase 1 dump, and then a correction, and then phase 2 major dump. All right, so I found this very interesting that when Pluto retrograded back into 0 degrees, that's pretty much exactly when we saw this dump. So could this same pattern repeat? Now, doesn't this market back in 1956, 1957, doesn't this look quite similar to where we are right now on the Dow Jones? And I can show you again. If you look at the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, it looks something quite like this. So we're in a pretty similar spot here. Could we see this kind of behavior? Could we see a major correction around June 11th through the summer, and then see a major market rebound here? What's really interesting with this chart is, we see a little dump here, and then the markets pump. And then there's this major dump. I was calling it phase 2, the dump phase 2. What's really interesting is the Fed just paused rates, which is neutral bullish. So I mean, we could definitely see a dump, but probably nothing too far with the Dow Jones here. We could go down a little bit. But usually when the Fed pauses, it's pretty bullish. They did sound hawkish in the meeting today. So there could be another rate hike in the future. And markets could definitely continue going up in these times. So, what we could see with the Fed funds rate is the Fed is the statistics are showing that they're going to hike. When is the next date? On June 26th. That's very interesting because the astrology at the end of July, we could see a dump and a pump in August when Venus goes retrograde. So I'm kind of putting this together in my head right now. And then the Fed is potentially, when the Fed starts cutting rates, which right now is projected to happen January of next year, which actually perfectly lines up with the Pluto transits. I'm just kind of seeing this right now because Pluto, this planet right here, if we go forward into the future, keep your eye on Pluto right there. So Pluto's going to go back into Capricorn. It goes to 27 degrees Capricorn. And then in November, December, it's going to start coming back to 29 degrees. And then by late January, it's going to go back into Aquarius. So does this align perfectly with the Fed funds rate statistics, where statistically they're projected to cut rates at the end of January, almost exactly when Pluto goes back into Aquarius? Are we going to see a major market shift then, when we could see something exactly like this, where we pump? We might see a dump through the summer, nothing too crazy, but then let's say we pump in August, October, November, December, and then around the end of December, January, when the Fed decides to cut rates, are we going to see a major market dump here to then bottom out throughout next year and then start to take off on the next bull run towards the end of 2024? That is very interesting. That would mean that these predictions line up with the astrology, which also lines up with the Fed funds rate and what the Fed is doing. So very, very interesting here, guys. What do you think? Are you liking these amazing correlations with the Bitcoin astrology that we're putting together today in this video? Please definitely like and share this if you want to get this out to your friends and family to help benefit them, to help them prepare for what we could be seeing, and helping you identify when are some of the best buying opportunities, some of the best selling opportunities, using the astrology mixed with technical analysis, mixed with macro, bringing it all together in this beautiful melting pot of, Bitcoin astrology analysis. So definitely subscribe if you want to see more videos like this with epic predictions on the Bitcoin astrology. Much love to you guys. Checking in to see if there's anything else we could look at. Let's look at the weekly chart here. I'm going to zoom in, and we are definitely seeing that dump right there. So it would be very interesting to see what the weekly close is for Bitcoin here. You know, we just got below 25,000. So another thing I'm definitely buying some at these levels. Could we go a bit lower? Yes, we could, but I think this is pretty solid for the long run. We could see a bit of a slow summer here. Even into August, we could see slow, you know, hanging out in the mid 20s kind of area. So I'm thinking those are good buying opportunities because towards the end of the year we could see some good pumps. So that's what I'm seeing with the Bitcoin astrology right now. All right, much love, guys. Definitely subscribe. Please support this channel. One of the best things you could do is subscribe. You could sign up for a session with me, a one-on-one. I would love to do those as well. But I'm going to be coming out with a lot more videos. So definitely stay updated. All right, much love, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.